goes to
Delta Goodrem.
Delta Goodrem.
Delta Goodrem.
I'm lost without you. I keep trying to find my way.
Merrick and Russo chatting with Delta Goodrem.
Thanks for coming in.
That's all right.
What have you done with the ARIA Awards? Where are they?
They're on the piano. Just in a row, they look like a bunch of lethal weapons.
Do you get angry when people move them around? Do they have a certain place why they have
They're
to
kind of
stay?
set, but no, I don't mind. Everyone seems to just go over and pick them up and...
Yeah,
So you've just got an upright, do you? I thought you'd have a grand or something.
No, it's a grand.
Oh, right, so
It's
you had
that
the
it's flat,
lid,
overly
right.
downwards down.
Yeah, she's not on a pianola in a bar
Well,
in
you
a
know.
Western movie. There's no sheet music with Delta.
What is the difference when you put the lid up and have it down? What's it
It's
just?
the resonance, just the sound of it. Just it's kind of more closed and you kind of keep it really quiet and intimate. But if you have the lid up, it just resonates around the house a bit better.
Are you allowed to have it up? You know,
Yes.
People get it.
Actually, it's good because where I have my piano, there's sort of nobody can kind of hear it around the neighbourhood. Oh, they can hear it through the windows, of course, but it's a pretty quiet little area. So
Delta, have you ever had complaints for your music? You know, like with neighbours or anything?
with neighbours?
Yeah, if they ever complain, it's going, tell Delta to keep it down.
They're all pretty like, oh, is that a new song you're playing at the moment? Like,
Do you ever hear them sing? Say you're playing Predictable or something, and you hear your neighbours singing over the fence.
sometimes I hear my neighbours kind of playing, especially the ones on the right, they tend to play the radio all the time, and sometimes I'll hear my song come on and it's full ball across there.
Oh, that's weird.
Do you think they maybe turn up the volume when it's your song just so you go, take this, Delta, we hear you all the time. Now you can hear yourself in stereo.
I think they turn it down. It's like, we're not really listening to you.
It must be really weird, you know, if you're in the same area you've been in for years, and then all of a sudden, you know, you have like such a massive profile lift as a person, and you're working in music and in television as well, and then your neighbours, but you've known them for years.
Yeah.
Do they start treating you differently?
No, I've got a really good neighbourhood actually. I mean, we had new people move in, so I haven't really had much to do with them. But the rest of the neighbourhood's been completely awesome. I've got my Uncle George next door, and I've got my Auntie Jan up the road. So it's
and
kind of
Harold,
exactly.
of course.
So, well, I live in a cul-de-sac, so funny you say that. And it's like my own little episode because I've got Jan. She always makes cookies. Bless her, I love her cookies. She's the best cookies in the world. And then we've got my Uncle George. And we'll go over and visit him and have dinner
then
sometimes.
just pop down to Lassiter's for a little while if you need
Exactly.
to.
A coffee shop around the corner.
Have you been at any stage embarrassed when you've heard your song somewhere where you've been and you're just sort of having a conversation with someone and then you just go, oh God, that's me on the radio again?
No, because I didn't get to hear it that often because I tend to be working all the time that I didn't get to actually hear it on the radio all the time. So when I was in somewhere and I'd hear the song played, I'd be like, oh my goodness, hang on a second, listen, like it's in the shot, so and I get really excited, but I still get excited about it. Don't get embarrassed because I work really hard to sort of get it on there, and I know lots of people would love to get their music on the radio, so I'm really appreciative that it's on there.
I was thinking more to the point, like you're just going, oh, and everyone sort of suddenly, you walk into a shop and then it's your song.
Sometimes on the
and you're just
plane
going-
that
and then-
happens.
Yeah, and everyone go, oh, hang on,
Oh,
that's me.
really?
On the plane, and you're sitting
Yeah.
there, it's like there's about 10 screens along there, and there's like I remember like one particular time, like Lost Without You had just come out, so it was the second single, and I was sitting on the plane, and the person next to me was just saying, so what are you doing? We're having a good old chat, and I say, oh, my
God.
music. I said, oh, actually, that's my clip. And then and slowly all the heads start to turn around, and it's back.
But it's not just music. I mean, you're on so many magazine covers. How do you go into a newsagent now?
I don't know. I just sort of sometimes do. Sometimes
Yeah?
I don't really.
Do you ever
read it that much.
pick up any of the magazines and read stories about you?
I do sometimes. I kind of check out what am I doing this week, or what's been going on in the world.
What about, those fuzzy paparazzi shots? Is it weird to see yourself in those?
It's kind of a bit strange. They look a bit surreal to me too. They sort of look a bit disconnected. And
It always looks like you're on the run, and it's funny because particularly with overseas folks, you get
what, my ones in particular?
It's
Or?
like Delta's on the run again.
We almost had a paparazzi photo of Merrick and I.
Did you?
In
I didn't
Bondi.
organise it.
Almost once. And the guy took a photo and sent it to the papers, but it was...
Saying, Merrick and Russo spotted in Bondi.
Really?
Unfortunately, it was Russo with one of our mates who is about half my size and twice as good looking. And they're just going, God, he's really shaped up.
And they emailed it to the paper, and the paper just went, I don't think so.
Merrick's much better than that.
I don't think so.
Stick around, there's more with Merrick and Russo on Delta next. Merrick and Russo chatting with Delta Goodrem.
Delta, I want to ask you, because I forgot about it until today. But I've seen the braces, the clear braces.
Yes.
And we talked about them when you first got them. We went, oh my God, Delta's yet another person who's gone off and got sort of later in life braces.
It's
as
a
opposed to
celebrity
getting them
trend.
today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's trendy.
Tom's
Tom
done it.
Cruise.
It's fun actually because due to some of the treatment, my gums had got really sore and started to do funny things. So I said, let's put on some braces and make sure they don't move and just keep them still. So that's the reasoning for having them. I'm actually getting them off this afternoon.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm extremely excited.
Oh, let's take a photo now then.
Have you had any
Me now,
embarrassing
so-
moments with getting food stuck in your teeth and, not
Not that I
realising
know
it
of.
and
I-
getting photos taken?
No one's told me.
You're walking around with half a jar of pesto on your teeth and you think you're fine. Just crack pepper all over the place.
No,
You go,
I've been quite self-conscious actually, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. They'll be off this afternoon.
So that wasn't very long then. How long did you have them on for?
4 or 5 months.
Oh, that's easy. My brother had them on for about 4 years.
Oh,
Back in the old days, though. But
In the old days too, when they were all made of barbed wire. Delta years ago.
Really? Really? That
Just
back
barbed
in the
wire.
old day?
Back in the old days, yeah, and
You're extremely old.
yeah. And a blacksmith. Oh, Blackie Blacksmith used to put them on your teeth.
let's talk about new songs. What have you been doing? Have you been prolific? Or has it been difficult?
Yeah, no. I found it really hard to concentrate for a while, so I'm sort of excited that I know where I want to take the next album and starting to write at the moment, just getting an idea for how I think it all should sound as a whole, and really excited about the new stuff.
Is it going to be a different sound?
I still have a pretty consistent way of writing, and I have a pretty big string, and you can tell it's a song when I've started writing it. Like, I can tell it's my song that I've started with the piano pieces and everything, but I think that it may be a tiny bit different, just different life experiences to talk about. So maybe a bit darker in some songs, and just I don't know. We'll see.
When you say the process of writing a song,
Yeah.
where do you start?
Personally, every single song's completely different, but I tend to compose a piece of music first, write the piano piece, and then maybe I'll leave it there for like a month, and then there'll be about 6 other different piano pieces, and decide, okay, if I figure if it sticks with me, then it's a good idea. If it doesn't, then it's not any good anyway, and I didn't remember it.
So where you talk about just starting with the music,
Yeah.
some of those big songs that you had from the last album,
Yes.
did any of them have stranger titles
Um,
or different lyrics to what they ended up with?
Born to Try was pretty. This is
Oh,
Born
like-
to Try. This is like.
It wasn't I Like Holden's or
No. It was, that was a definite name, like just jumped
Yeah.
at us and just said, I think the audience and I started something, Born to Try. Okay, yeah, no, that sounds good.
We'll eat pies. No, that's not good.
No. Walking along, see the sky. No, I tend to. Innocent Eyes had like a few different names for a while there.
It used to be Innocent Pies
Yeah,
as well.
no, what were
It
they?
was just a rhyme.
Those Innocent Pies.
There was like, I think, whether we were calling it Faith in Innocent Eyes or what we were going to call it, or whether we had a Dada line in there. I don't know.
Have people been sending you songs?
People don't so much send them at the moment because they know that I'm pretty much either I'll write it or I'll go and co-write it with somebody. And co-writing is a funny thing because you can have so many different ideas, and now it's wonderful because I can go to them and say, this is exactly really how I think we should sound, and I get to work with these amazing people and take on their different ideas.
Stick around, there's more with Merrick and Russo on Delta next.
The aria goes to
Delta Goodrem.
Delta Goodrem.
Delta Goodrem.
Lost without you, I keep trying to find my way.
Merrick and Russo chatting with Delta Goodrem.
Seems I'm wasting my pressure.
You were saying before, the next album might reflect some of the darker moments that you've gone through in your life lately. Have you found, in terms of music and writing, have you used music as more of an outlet over the last, 6 months or so?
Absolutely.
And how have you found that? How has your writing changed over that period?
I don't know. I think we'll have to wait until I finish this. I'm really excited to start a new album. It's like creating a whole new picture, a whole new sort of painting that you're about to paint and put together, and it's really exciting. But I think it'll just be different things to talk about. I mean, now that I think about it, Innocent Eyes has been out for a year, so I was working on it the year before that, and it's kind of been a long time. So there's been lots of songs in the meantime. Like, I keep writing. I write quite a lot. But it's just a matter of making sure that I just make the best album to date. And
There's certainly what you've gone through and what you're still going through. It must have changed your perspective on life.
absolutely, because I think everybody has a different way of expressing themselves, and some people write novels, or some people just talk about it, or some people, everyone has a different way. They go for a jog at the gym, and I tend to go to the piano and write and play as much as I can and write about it through that.
Now, Delta, I know that you'd probably appreciate your fans response to your music. But has there been anybody in the industry, anybody, a musician or anything like that, that's completely dumbfounded when they've told you how much they enjoy your music?
Yeah, there's been so much support, and seriously, like, I can't begin to say from, like I said a few times, like, just the Australian public, my fans, and have been amazing, like, really overwhelming. And in regards to artists that have said about my music and been really supportive, like Elton John was somebody that I was really taken back when he sort of called me up and said, "No, well done on your album, it's going really well, and it's great over here." And that was someone I went, "Oh."
How did Elton ring you? Does he ring through management, or does he just get your home phone number?
It's a good point.
What's
I might
Elton
take
doing?
that up.
Yeah, it's Elton for you.
Yeah. Stop eating that casserole. Elton's on the phone. He's a sir.
Yeah, no, I think it's just through my record company. Yeah.
So,
or the other person that was really I ran into when I was over in America, Pat from Train.
Oh yeah.
It was a really bizarre moment because Calling All Angels was like my song. It was like the song I've listened to for the past ages and just listened to. And I was at the Grammys and he just walked up and said, "Delta," and I said, "Hi, Pat," and he sort of said, "Oh, I was out in Australia and we got the album and I really love music and we had a good old chat about it," and that was really it was really special. I said, "Well, actually, I really love your songs." And
what about Lars from Metallica?
Can't say it's my favourite, but
Maybe he'll give you a call one day.
Maybe one day.
Hi, Donna, it's Lars.
Then my music's really taken a dark turn. Like, we know she's gone through a tough time, but not this time.
Donna's got tattoos and everything now.
You don't, do you?
No.
What are your long-term goals? Where do you want to see yourself in a few years and long-term as well?
I'm still just travelling the world, doing my music and performing lots. I just can't wait to tour, to tell you the truth. Like, I just want to get out and do some live performances.
Will that be after the next album comes out, or before?
Yeah, I'll hopefully before a little bit, but I'm probably guessing after the next album comes out. And then just getting out and performing for people, because I've really missed out on that. I felt like I haven't got to do that a lot. And doing lots of live performances in the future and just keep writing albums.
How many countries has the record been released in? Heaps?
I just started to release in different countries. Like, I just kind of released in Europe and stuff, so I haven't been back there to promote it. But it's been doing really well. It's sold 1.5 million or so in Europe, and it's doing okay. And it got to number 2 in England, and it's Spain. It's just started, and
Will you be doing
Germany,
any other
number 7 or something?
any Spanish versions of Innocent Eyes, or
Not Innocent Eyes, but we're doing a Spanish version of Born to Try.
oh, good one.
Wow.
Because they've been really responsive and it started to do really well. They said, we'd like to go the second single because they did Lost Without You first.
Have you practiced that yet?
I don't think I'm doing that great at the moment.
Can we have a listen? Go on, give us a little bit.
I'm like this close to wanting to say it, but I'm just not even going to try right this second.
You've been listening to the Merrick and Russo Show. For stubby hoggers and other crap products, go to merrickandrusso.com.